I used to love my late-night drives. Working in healthcare is high stress, and there's nothing like a drive along the ocean to reset your brain. The sound of the waves, the starry sky, it was my therapy. But a couple of nights ago, something happened that changed everything. I was leaving work around 1 a.m. after a long shift. My coworker warned me the wind was so strong it almost blew her car off the new highway. She told me to take the old highway home instead. It was a longer, darker route that snaked through thick forests along the coast, but I just wanted to get home safe. The old highway was deserted. No streetlights, just my headlights cutting through the darkness with the wind swaying my car. About 10 minutes in, I passed a tiny town, just a gas station and a few shops. In the gas station's gravel lot, an old truck was idling. I could see the outline of someone inside. It was a small comfort, knowing I wasn't the only one on the road. But I was getting tired. I decided to pull over at a little beach. I loved to have a quick smoke. The stormy waves would be huge, and I thought the cold air would wake me up. I parked at the far end of the empty gravel lot, rolled down my window, and lit a cigarette. The wind was brutal, almost stealing my breath, but it worked. I felt awake again. I got back in my car, blasted the heat, and finally started to relax. Then, headlights swept across my car. Another vehicle pulled into the lot and parked about 100 yards away. It idled for a minute, then its lights went out. Suddenly, the parking lot was pitch black again. An uneasy feeling settled in my stomach. I told myself it was nothing. People come here all the time at night. I decided I'd leave as soon as I finished my smoke. That's when I heard it. The faint crunch of gravel. I looked around, but saw nothing. I shook it off, blaming my true crime podcast habit. I stubbed out my cigarette and put my foot on the brake to start the car. The red glow of my brake lights lit up the rearview mirror for a split second. I thought I saw something. I looked again, nothing. I laughed at myself, put the car in reverse, and glanced at my side mirror. My heart stopped. There was a man, crouched down, leaning against my car, right by the brake light. He was inching slowly toward my driver's side door. A jolt of pure fear shot through me. I slammed my foot on the gas. The car lurched backward. The figure jumped out of the way. As I shifted to drive, my headlights caught him, a man in a dark sweater and jeans, sprinting toward the truck I'd seen at the gas station. My heart sank. I floored it out of the parking lot. I was 20 minutes from home on a winding road with nowhere to hide. My eyes were glued to the rearview mirror. Please, no headlights. Please. Then, there they were. I sped up, my knuckles white on the steering wheel. I needed a side road, any way to disappear. As I rounded a sharp bend, I spotted a narrow gravel road on the left. I yanked the wheel, barely slowing down, and gunned it up the path. It was a single-lane road, twisting into the woods. I drove a few hundred yards, then shut off my lights and rolled to a stop. I sat there, in total darkness, shaking, listening. Nothing but the wind and my own pounding heart. I waited for what felt like an eternity, praying I wouldn't see his headlights coming up the road behind me. After 20 minutes of silence, the tension finally eased. I turned my car around and crept back to the main road. I hesitated, scanning the dark, winding pavement in both directions. It was clear. The rest of the drive home was tense, but I never saw that truck again. When I finally pulled into my driveway and turned off the car, I made a promise to myself. No more night drives to that beach. Sometimes, you're just in the wrong place at the wrong time, and some people have the worst intentions.